Go ahead.
I'm going to call the meeting of the St. John Economic Development Committee to order for September 10th at 5 p.m. Would everybody please rise and join me in the pledge? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Chuck, will you call the roll, please?
Okay, Schultz,
Present.
Moore,
Present.
Joe Barry,
Here.
Bill Clark.
Here.
Ed.
Present.
And then we know that Pastor Eric is not going to be here.
Right. Okay, thank you. All right, the next up is the approval of the minutes of the June 11th meeting. You have them in front of you, and they also were sent out electronically. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. Next up is new and old business and the Chris Kringle Market. And for that, I'll turn it over to Chuck.
Thank you. Okay, so we had a minor wrinkle that we need to discuss tonight and probably vote on. So with everything going on with the town council, they were not able to approve the update of the ordinance. So originally, again, just to catch up, the original ordinance is basically a half day for 50, a full day for 100. We wanted to split the difference, make it 75. There was just a little miscommunication, so the ordinance is not going to be updated. So we basically have to decide, do we want to stick with the normal 4 hours at 50, or do we want to do something where we maybe do 6 hours and charge the full rate? So basically, we'll have a full day event. So my opinion on it is, we kept the fees low last year because it was the first time. Because of the overwhelming success, I don't think the vendors would have an issue with charging more. Obviously, in a perfect world, we'd find a fair price, but at this point, I think we're looking at probably charging the 100 and doing a 6-ish hour event. Because that's kind of what we looked at. We thought that last year went great. We'd like to add a couple hours, but I think just 8 hours is too much, with the lack of daylight and things like that. So I think that's what I just wanted to open that up and get opinions on that.
I like 6 hours and 100. I think I still think it's very fair.
Yeah.
Would 6 hours be from like 9 to 3? Because I think we said last year it could start at 4, so we need to
Right.
give the vendors sufficient time to clear out so they're not doing it in the dark.
Yeah, so we would look at roughly 9 to 3 then. Yeah, that makes sense. So then at this point, we really just have to, solidify that plan, pass that along to Shelby and her team, and then just move forward. That's kind of, we're waiting to, put that out to the vendors. We just wanted to solidify the price and the time, and then we can start moving forward.
No, that's 9 to 3 live, not including setup.
Correct. So
Okay.
setup is basically, I think, two hours early if they want, like 7 a.m.
Yep.
And then, again, the idea is that gives them an hour to tear down before, sunsets around a
Yeah.
little after 4.
Yeah, I think that's more than, I think 6 hours and 100 is more than fair.
And I'm putting it out there, it's gonna be 60 degrees and sunny all day, so it'll be a beautiful day.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. And it's one of those things, even with 4 hours, I felt bad because we had vendors that set up these elaborate tents and had beautiful displays, and it just seemed a shame. It seemed like a short event. It seemed like a long time when we were doing it, but in retrospect, it'd be nice to add a couple hours. That's why we kind of were looking at the 6 hours for the event. So, I guess, I'll make a motion then? So I'm going to make a motion that the Chris Kringle event will be 6 hours, 9 to 3. We will be charging the vendors the full day rate, which is $100, and it'll be a 6-hour event.
Second?
I'll make that motion in a second, yeah.
Okay. We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay.
So that was really about it. We're full steam ahead on that. We'll get, again, Shelby and her team are just absolute rock stars at that, planning and working with that parking lot. So we will let them kind of manage that. The plan is, again, just to keep things similar to what we did last year. If we want to, if we talk about maybe adding a few things, we can discuss it at the next meeting. But the plan is really just, we'll have one more performer with the extra 2 hours, I think, is kind of the discussion. We just have to kind of see who's available and what we want to do.
I think
Right?
we booked
Or did-
Santa from 10 to 12. Is that
Okay.
I think that's what we did.
But do you want to since we have the 2 hours, we can look at maybe adding one more inexpensive guest to the mix if we can, but we'll see who. We had talked about maybe doing something with having some sort of horse sleigh or something like that as thrown out in the past, but we can kind of look and see what's available and then bring that up at the next meeting. But, I mean,
Okay.
other than that, like I said, things went fantastic, so I don't want to mess with what we did last year.
When will the signups be available? Because I was even thinking too, like even having like vendors that are just like maybe services, like that they may not have something tangible you can get, but have like
Right.
services there, and then like maybe giveaways or something like that, just to kind of promote their business and everything.
Right.
Like that.
Well, yeah, and so, so the go-live date at this point, we're looking at the 15th. So basically, then, at the next farmer's market on Sunday, they can put that out to the
That's
vendor.
September 15th.
It'd be September
Got it.
15th.
Perfect.
I know she said the vendors all loved it. They're already asking about signing up. So we're trying to get that information to them as soon as possible. So the goal would be to work with Parks and go live would be September 15th. And then we sort of vet them, and the goal is to not have too many of the same type of vendor and that sort of thing. But again, Shelby and her team do a great job of the vetting and, deciding where people get put and things like that, so.
Yeah, maybe all the volunteers can have matching Christmas hats.
Like his?
Yeah.
Well,
Matching
unfortunately,
Christmas hats or sweaters or something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
unfortunately, that place is out of business, but maybe I'll find a few on Amazon or
Yeah.
something. But
Yep.
yes, if you all want those hats, I'll certainly get you some.
Yeah.
Sure.
But really, that's all I had as far as Chris Kringle Market.
Okay. Where are we at with the business thing? They were going to send the letter out.
So we,
Well, they kind of got we're behind track on that because there were issues with getting the Kris Kringle Market
The mail.
email back up
Okay.
and
Yeah.
running. And then I was out of commission for the last 5 weeks because I had surgery. So I think what we may have to do now is just do it by email instead of regular mail. I mean, that helps reduce the cost. All of the business signups have an email, a registered email, so we can just use that and then post also the letter on social media. So there are business people in St. John that peruse that as well. And I talked to the clerk's office. So the water bill that you receive right at the beginning of November will have the brochure pamphlet in it for the Christmas in the Park. And that is thick. So the best that they could do to get us in that mailer as well, they said would be a buck plate, the smaller, I'm assuming it's called a buck because it looks like it's the dollar, it's like the size of of money. And then they said you could do it front and back because they said we kind of wanted to promote the businesses that are on it. And they said we could do front and back printing that would have, all the information and things like that. And it was also suggested if we wanted to, if we're going to make a map of participating businesses, that we could make that into a QR code that links to the map and put it on the buck flyer that would go into that water bill.
did she mention the deadline for that?
Yes, so they need everything to them no later than October 24th. If we want to use they have 2 different printing companies. If we were going to use one of their printing companies, we need to have it to them at least a week or so before that. So I think the deadline to sign up is going to have to be October 1st, and that would give us maybe a week and a half to compile the list, and then a week and a half for a printer to print something to go into the water bill.
I was just checking to see when our next meeting is, our October meeting,
Like the 9th or
is it the
something like that.
9th?
10th.
Okay.
I would think that between now and October, we should be able to format whatever we want our little flyer to say.
Right.
And then the only thing we should have to add to it would be the list of participating businesses and maybe the map.
Yeah, so the email is ready to go, and then again, they'll go live on registrations is the 15th, so we can kind of coordinate that, so maybe you and I can kind of work on that, and then we'll just figure out logistics with town IT, and just figure out, the platform and things like that, but it should be pretty straightforward,
Good.
so.
That's good. Well, okay. You be able to do the QR code?
Yeah, pretty easy. We just have to figure out where it's going to live, and then you generate the code, so it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything? Ed?
No. I think the Kindle markets would be good. It was good last year. I think it's gonna be great this year. So
Thanks.
excited about it.
Sarah, Amy, anything else?
No.
Chuck? Yeah.
So I guess the only other thing just to mention is obviously we had our grand opening of the new community center. If you saw the photos that were posted earlier, it's absolutely gorgeous. It'll be a great
Understatement.
facility. And so, very proud to have been part of that and really happy with the way that turned out. It's very versatile, can do all sorts of things, parties and all kind of events. We had a live band there last week. They sounded great in the room. And so it's a great asset for the town.
Yeah. Beautiful too.
It is
Inside
nice.
and out. Looks really
Inside
good.
out, exactly. The outside is really nice, too.
It sounds fantastic.
Does it? Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, we have no public comment, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second? Okay. All